Drums, please.
Hey everybody, C.Note here, and welcome to DOPEamine, the show that is all about mental health empowerment. Today on the show, I want to talk to my fellow INTPs about leadership. What does it mean to be a leader as an INTP? Some people could look to me as a type of leader, but some people have their own preconceived notions of what it means to be a leader as an INTP. Now, before we go any further forward, there is a like and subscribe button below. Go ahead and click that. And if you hit the bell icon, I'm skipping all of my words right now. If you hit the bell icon, slow down. If you hit the bell icon, you will get notifications for when these videos go up, because I try to post them around Thursdays, but sometimes I add extra videos, bonus videos, a random video on a Saturday. You just never know. So hashtag Saturday Squad. I don't know. I just made that up. Whatever. So go ahead, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So what does it mean to be a leader as an INTP? I think some of us struggle with that. Some of us are trying to start our own businesses. We're becoming, sometimes we become a manager at a job, or we are having to lead some sort of volunteer situation, or we feel a compulsion to lead in some way, but then we get into the role of leadership and it doesn't quite fit, doesn't gel, or at least the expectations of how we should be a leader doesn't feel right. I think every INTP can relate to the idea of feeling this compulsion to want to lead people in some way, or at least change behavior, or find some way to encourage some sort of growth in humanity and people as a whole. There are a lot of INTPs that get very much attuned to social causes and wanting to support in a very big way. Though, sometimes leadership as an INTP can feel forced. You're trying to force yourself into a box. You're trying to be maybe too aggressive or too assertive in relation to your natural strengths and who you are as an INTP. So, INTPs, we're logical thinkers. We like to clean, slice, and deduce things, but we're also fun, and we like to manage our own time. We like autonomy. We like doing things our way, right? And doing things our way tends to mean that we need the space. We need to nurture a space for ourselves that enables us to be the best that we can be. And I think as a leader, as an INTP, that is the best thing that you can provide others, is a sense of autonomy for themselves, a way for them to feel like they can be themselves and encourage the strength that they have, whether that's through thinking or logic, or creating an interesting environment, or hiring people that will enable certain strengths in certain people, or putting them in the right places that really allow for them to shine the way that they need to shine. That really allows for an INTP leader to kind of like take a step back, and you don't have to micromanage. You can just make a couple of decisions and get back to your own work, right? And really, you're just, as an INTP leader or manager, you're someone who understands every bit of the process, right? Most likely, the jobs that you're doling out, you understand how to do those jobs, at least a little bit. And that allows you to solve those problems if they come up, or at least support people if they have challenges. Now, there are going to be emotional challenges that come with leadership. And if you find a way to integrate that TI and FE in a way that you can actually listen and have a conversation with someone to provide support, and not just be direct and cold with, the logic, telling someone to just button up and get it done. Sometimes people have to reconcile with their emotional needs and experiences. And if you can't do that yourself just yet, and you're still practicing that, it's okay to lean on someone else for support. Gary Vaynerchuk has a senior, like a senior heart officer, a CHO, basically, like why can't I think of what CEO stands for? CHO, but the corporate heart officer basically is someone that handles all of the HR stuff. And having a heart officer, whether that's yourself or someone else, really allows for you to then, get support from someone else to handle some of the more emotional things. Now, it really depends on your situation, depends on what resources you have access to. Some INTPs are just trying to be leaders and may not necessarily have access to someone that is going to provide the heart part of it, right? Like for me, I'm running this YouTube channel and I'm trying to be a leader and basically a champion for INTPs, but I'm also not necessarily the way that my type of leadership and coaching is, I'm not dependent on your exact results, right? Like what you do and how you go about your life is like totally up to you. What you do doesn't necessarily affect my paycheck, or it doesn't affect how I go forward. I do my own thing. I find my own way. But so if you're someone who's trying to lead on like a YouTube channel or a platform like this, you may not have access or money to pay like a community manager, for example. And sometimes giving yourself like kind of pre-canned responses or ways to support people and like respond to all the comments and all of that stuff can really help. So you don't have to get into the nitty gritty of the emotional details, but at least throw a heart in there. Do something at its very basic level. Just give some sort of response is very helpful. So I know INTPs, again, we kind of struggle with the emotional thing, and I don't want to lean into that too much. When it comes to the leadership side of things, it's really just about autonomy for yourself and make sure you're honoring yourself so that you can then give your best to other people. So for me, through this YouTube channel, like I've tried to post videos every Thursday, but if I don't have it and I can't do it and I'm just like not in a good energetic space, then I don't do it. I'll give it a little extra time because I want to put out good work for you guys, and I want to share some of the best advice that I can and really support you. That's why I'm doing this. But it's really about me and the lessons that I've learned and sharing that. So, I have to continue to grow and nurture myself and really be a leader to myself in order to be leaders to other people. So that's really one of the kind of interesting the interesting things to think about is that to lead other people, you really have to lead yourself first as an INTP. It's take care of who you are and solve your own problems so that you can then kind of, share that with other people and really create something and really share something and lead with an idea or lead a movement on your own terms in your own way. So the kind of the final point of this is that as an INTP, it can really be, when it comes to like productivity or motivation or doing things, we can compare ourselves to judgers quite a bit. We feel like we're supposed to have like specific schedules. We're supposed to schedule our tasks. We have to have a ton of meetings. We have to do all sorts of things that require external commitments, when in a lot of ways, we can do things our own way. And a lot of the INTP process, not just in leadership, but in any other facet, is about getting comfortable with our sense of identity. Because TI, our introverted thinking, our logic, our way of approaching the world, is our sense of self. And that sense of self is important to rest into because you're trusting who you are. You're trusting the way that you think. Instead of saying like, I don't schedule things, and every time I try to schedule things, I suck at it and it's the worst and I fail. And you just keep judging yourself and judging yourself instead of saying like, I don't schedule things, but I work really well in the moment. And then embracing that. Because that's really what it is as an INTP, is embracing your strengths instead of seeing your weaknesses as a lack of strength, right? So finding your strength and leaning into that as a leader is really what's going to make you a good leader. There are some amazing INTP leaders out there in the world who are doing amazing things. The book 0 to 1 is a really, really good book about doing something different in the world, but it also talks about leadership a little bit and how you can really stand out and be yourself while doing it. It's more of a business startup kind of book, but there are other books out there that are really good. Anything by Seth Godin, I think, is really incredible. He's more on the marketing side of things, but it's about leadership and standing up and making a change and being who you are in that process. I think anything by Seth Godin is really going to be a good start for that. I would recommend reading the book Linchpin. It's probably a good place to really be a good leader and start to lean into that stuff. So with all that said, there's a million things I can go into when it comes to leadership. But if you're a leader that's struggling to figure out who you are and what you're trying to do, you can certainly, sign up below for some coaching with me one-on-one. We can figure some of that stuff out based on your context. Or you can join our INTP productivity workshop, which helps INTPs to calibrate to their style of creating, their style of making, doing, and producing, instead of comparing ourselves to the outside world with scheduling and calendars and all that nonsense. It's about how we can embrace the moment, how we can ride the lightning, and really take the motivation that we feel when we're excited about something and set ourselves up to be successful in that, and find the right tools. And the workshop itself is about comparing notes with other INTPs, sharing your story with INTPs, giving your own advice to other INTPs who are also struggling and dealing with these challenges of leadership, creativity, productivity, etc. So there's a course in there. You watch the course and then you join us for our workshop, and we calibrate and work together on how we can strengthen each other as an INTP. It's a monthly membership. That means you can continue to connect with the other INTPs and myself. It's basically reduced cost group coaching, and I think it's a great way to connect with other INTPs and really share your story and really embrace being a growth-minded INTP. And I want that for you, and as much as I want that for myself. So that's really what we're doing here. So go ahead, sign up for that stuff below if that's a thing. There's other links, other things, like, subscribe, bell icon, etc. And also go check out other articles, podcast episodes, all sorts of stuff at DOPEamine.life. So that's it. Take care of yourselves and each other. Go be a leader. Go do your thing. Make a mess. I love you. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I'll catch you next time on DOPEamine. See ya.